Greetings, everyone, on the SciFiction awesomeness. My name is Owen C. Cotter. You're watching SciFiction on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and X and everywhere on the universe simulcasted. On today's show, here in about 15 minutes, we're going to have an amazing guest. His name has, of course, been on the show before. Brandon Alinger of PropStore of London and Los Angeles. He's going to be going over his new Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. For people that are just joining us, my name is Owen C. Cotter of SciFiction.com and all the different social media channel goodness. We just got back about a few days ago from STLV 58-year mission Star Trek themed event in Las Vegas. And before that, for a whole week, we were in San Diego Comic-Con covering that event. We've got about 90 different separate interview segments and pieces of video content that we'll be dropping over the next month or so on social media and on the site. We also have tons of premium content, so just look forward to that. We've dropped quite a bit of photos and clips and little things on Facebook and Twitter. So look at that. There's a photo album on Facebook called SDCC 2024 and STLV 58. Both those albums are live on the photos on Facebook. So a lot of them sprinkled in little groups on Twitter as well. We're going to be bringing on Brandon here shortly. If anybody wants to ask questions, feel free to ask questions. Brandon's an amazing guy. He works with PropStore of London. So if you're not familiar with PropStore of London, we're going to bring up their site real quick. Let me get it up here. Hold on a second. Yeah, PropStore of London's an amazing company. They deal in high-end television and movie memorabilia. Bring up their site real quick here. This is their new Entertainment Memorabilia. They've got everything from movie posters, props, you name it. This is the live auction taking place August 15th to the 18th. So we're going to go to that real quick. And this is the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. They've got tons of stuff. Like they got the actual Batwing. They've got costumes from Gladiator, the original tricorder, Leonard Nimoy's tricorder from the original Star Trek. They got one of the only, if not the ever seen, screen-used Biker Scout helmets from the Return of the Jedi, and just tons of other goodies. We'll let Brendan go over all that here and shortly on the broadcast, and it's tons of goodies. For people joining us, my name is Owen C. Cotter. You are watching SciFiction. Today is August 14th. A lot of good stuff going on. This year's 1984 has a lot of 40th anniversaries. Star Trek event, they had the 40th anniversary of Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. Christopher Lloyd was present. I got to talk to him a little bit. We also got tons of other content there at the event. We got to talk to the Star Trek Wines and Spirits. Also, they have some amazing new stuff, including their Chateau Picard. If you're not familiar with Star Trek Wines and Spirit, highly check it out. We got to talk to Cherry Tree Computers. They do custom sci-fi computers like Borg spaceships and Klingons, and they had a flux capacitor DeLorean computer. Absolutely amazing. We also talked to our friend Nanjin, who runs EXO6 action figure, but they're more like museum-grade sculptures. The lightness of these figurines is so dead on. It's like they're going to come alive and walk right out of the case. It's absolutely stunning. Everything from the comm badges to the phasers, the little tricorders. The tricorders are that tiny, and you can see the screen and all the little details. It's absolutely insane. He told us the guy he works with to the detailing of the actual accessories and the costumes and everything for these museum-grade quality figurine sculptures. Well, they actually moved their figurines. Is one of the biggest passionate Star Trek guys out there. So he knows his stuff. And so does Nanjin. And he really was very passionate about talking with us about his passion, creating high-end Star Trek stuff for the fans. So it was really cool. Yeah, let's see who else we got to talk to. We got to talk to tons. So it's a big blur. We ran into Keanu Reeves in the hallway. He was tired. He was getting off of his panel from Berserker. See who else. We talked with Jack Quaid from The Boys, plays Huey, but he has a new thing called The Case Man, and it's going to be on The Safe Man, rather. It's going to be on Audible, or it's an Audible original podcast. So I highly recommend checking that out when that hits. We also talked to the creators of Mortal Kombat and the entire cast of all the new Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns, including the gentleman that plays Sub-Zero and the new lady that's playing Cyrax Scepter. Or, one of the robots. She's not a robot this time. She's a female version of it. It's a yellow character. Cyrax, I believe, something like that. So she's going to be playing that. And we talked to the new cast of the Hellboy, including the new Hellboy, and the creator of Hellboy as well. Just tons of content. Todd McFarlane, our good friend over there. We love Todd. He's going to come maybe on the broadcast here with next week or so. He's got an amazing project he's going to be doing through Kickstarter. I mean, anybody and everybody, authors, publishers, actors, celebrity, directors. Got to talk with the new co-showrunner for the new show, Arthur C. Clarke's Venus Prime. Also got an amazing on camera with Ronald D. Moore talking about his new projects, including For All Mankind Season 5 on Apple TV and the spin-off series Star City, and a little bit about his work with Battlestar and Star Trek and all the sci-fi goodness you could ever imagine and beyond. If you're just tuning in, my name is Owen C. Cotter. In about literally 8 minutes, we're going to be bringing on Brandon Alinger of PropStore. He's going to be going over all the sci-fi and pop culture and movie memorabilia and television goodies that they've got in the new PropStore Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. So I really look forward to that. If you'd like to talk to him or ask him questions, we're going to bring the chat up right now. There it is. We'll be able to ask him questions, and then when you do, I'll feature it on the screen as long as it's family friendly to some degree. Coffee goodness. It's decaf. I can't do higher levels of caffeine. It's just too much. We're going to be also, people, a little bit of updates on the schedule, what we got. We just got back from San Diego and STLV 58-year mission in Las Vegas. In September, well, first off, in August, late August, we're going to be heading out to Los Angeles to do some amazing filming. So check out for some sci-fi goodies on that. After that, we may be going to Dallas to do a little bit of different stuff. If you remember our friend Alston Martin, a country music star that came on the broadcast last year, he's doing some stuff out there in Dallas, and you'll have to bring it out. He's doing a music video and a concert, all kind of goodies. So stay tuned for that. I think in October, I'm not sure what we're doing. We'll be doing some filming on the down in the deep south in the Gulf Coast, and including some maybe sci-fi stuff there too. We don't know. You never know what happens down here on SciFiction. But we're going to be bringing on Brandon Alinger here shortly. Like I said, if you're joining the broadcast, please feel free to ask him questions. He's the man. He knows everything about, well, especially Star Wars. He's very knowledgeable about movie memorabilia and screen use props and all kind of stuff. PropStore, I highly recommend checking out their auction. They had an auction about a year or so. We brought him on, and that one, I think this auction has about $10 million of estimated value of all the memorabilia, and it's going to have some premium stuff. Like they've got, I'm going to go over 3 items. One of the items I'm absolutely excited about is the TOS Leonard Nimoy screen use tricorder from the original series, created and developed by Hua Chang. He was the designer for those props to the original series. He also designed the communicator with the Moray dial and the phaser, the old phaser ray awesomeness, type hand and type 1, as well as, I believe, some other gadgets and a whole bunch of stuff. But he's going to be on here talking. I believe he may even have that on camera. You never know what happens here on SciFiction. Always has good stuff. You never check it out. If you're here on the broadcast, please feel free to ask Brandon some questions. Excuse me. And we'll be here for about 20 minutes. He'll be able to join us. He's getting ready, I believe, tomorrow to ramp up. They're doing the beginnings of the auction tomorrow on the PropStore location. So he's going to be getting ready for that. But we've got an opportunity to talk with him. We always love talking with him. He's an amazing person to talk to, a wealth of knowledge when it comes to movie, especially Star Wars too. They've got some Star Wars items. They have one of the only, I don't think I've ever seen one ever, of a screen-used Biker Scout helmet from Return of the Jedi. So you had the Stormtrooper helmet was more rounded. The Biker Scout was more straight. They have like kind of the visor. And supposedly there's something with the visor that they had for, I guess, being able to be visibility when they're doing the speeder bikes to kind of keep their vision straight. So when I go, that's what the helmet was designed for, to keep it like a motorcycle helmet, basically. But it's a speeder bike. So, I mean, it's the same thing, just futuristic, and it hovers and it flies and all that jazz. So it's pretty darn cool. But Brandon will be joining us in about 5 minutes. If you're going to be joining us on any other live streams, we're going to be bringing on some amazing guests. On Friday at 4:30 p.m. CST, we're going to have the director, one of the main actors, like the main actor, and maybe one or two of the other actors from Our Man in LA, an amazing science fiction film. It's basically the transporter dealing with alien technology. That's all I'm going to say. You got to check it out. It'll be screening. It's already got the premiere screening, an amazing panel at San Diego Comic-Con. It will be out probably in early September. So we're going to bring on the director, Josh, Guy, and one or two of the other actors on Friday at 4:30 p.m. CST. So check that out. The next week, I don't know exactly what we're doing. I know we're going to be traveling to Los Angeles. So stay tuned for some live streams and some stuff on there. It's Facebook and possibly Twitter channels, especially Facebook. Also, we'll be going live on TikTok. I know there is not an ability right now on this particular software to stream on TikTok simulcast. We maybe will work on some way to do that in the future. But there is going to be streams and video content live on TikTok as well as Facebook. So check that out over between the dates of August 26th, 27th, and 28th. They're going to be doing some filming, live streams, all kind of site. You're going to be like, "Whoa, this is mad!" We're talking stuff you've never seen it on SciFiction up close. You're gonna love this. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Some of the very, very, very coolest things you'll probably ever see in pop culture, and it's some solid stuff dealing with the harkens back to the old vintage ages of pop culture, to the days of Space Patrol and Star Trek and Twilight Zone and all those goodies. And we'll just leave it at that. It's going to be amazing. Brandon will be on here in about 3 minutes. If you want to bring on, ask him questions, go in the chat either on X, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and we'll bring on your question. We can fly it across the screen and ask Brandon. He's a very wealth of knowledge when it comes to screen use, movie memorabilia, everything from sci-fi. They've got some horror stuff too. Even though we don't cover a lot of horror, we do cover aliens and stuff like that. DC, Marvel, Star Trek, some Star Wars, just pretty much anything that resonates with the, basically your childhood and anything you like in movies and cinema and television. Coffee goodness. We're going to bring on the chat here. Well, Brendan will be on here shortly. Everybody going. I hope everybody's having a good week. Weekend's coming up next. A beautiful weekend. Everybody that's joining us, my name is Owen C. Cotter. We're about to bring on Brendan Alinger of PropStore of London. If you have not gone to PropStore.com and checked out the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction, I highly recommend checking that out. I believe you have to make sure you put your tax info to make sure you have the money to pay for it, because there's some high-end items in there. Some of those items go for 6 figures or more. But it's absolutely worth it. They've got some amazing stuff. I wish I get that tricord. I think it needs to be in a museum, man. I think it's awesome. But hopefully it has some items. I believe they're going to bring him streaming from the location where they're going to be doing the auction. So he may actually have some screen use stuff. But he'll definitely be able to talk about it, and he'll definitely be able to showcase some of the items that will be some of the highlights and other things that. And I always like to ask him what are his favorites things in the auction, because everybody has their favorites. And of course, mine's the tricorder and the biker scout helmet. Pretty much anything. Batman thing's pretty. Ooh, there's something else I want to ask him. There's another big filming prop that's a miniature model that I definitely want to mention in this broadcast. Actually resonates with a movie that's coming out this weekend. We'll just say Alien Romulus, but it's not related to that in the new movie. It's related to the first film. Yes. So they have something very, very special from that. So I will let him bring that on and mention all the sci-fi and pop culture and memorabilia goodies. For people joining us, there's going to be an auction on August 15th through, I believe, the 18th of the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction for PropStore of London in LA. So definitely check that out. Go to PropStore.com. We're going to bring up the overlay here for Brandon and get his title effects here. Boom, there it is. Brandon Alinger, PropStore.com. Go to the website right down there at the ding. I just touched it. PropStore.com. Go to PropStore.com. Look at the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. If you have any kind, there's not just big items. There's smaller items, handheld props and things that go for $500,000 and up, and then some of them go for hundreds of thousands. Usually they have a whole. There's like 1,900 lots or something like that in this Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. And Brandon, I don't know as much as he does. He'll be able to tell you more about it than I do. I just read some of the due diligence on it. So he's definitely going to be able to tell you more than I would about the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. But feel free to ask questions. He'll be the one to answer all those. Yes. Star Wars goodness. They got the Andor, not Andor 2, but the Skeleton Crew trailer dropped. It's like Goonies in space. I think it looks great. Clive Owen should be doing a good job. And then we have the, there's a lot of studios. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 coming out soon. Oh, that's another thing. PropStore has a really cool item from Strange New Worlds. I believe a few. At least one really good one. I'm going to mention that from, let Brandon mention that, because he knows all the, he may even have that right behind him. I don't know. He's going to be coming in here like maybe any minute now. But yeah, so people that are joining us, my name is Owen C. Cotter. Brendan Alinger will be on here shortly on the titles. He works with the PropStore of London, one of the higher ups. He knows a lot and wealth of knowledge when it comes to movie memorabilia, television props, screen use, everything goodness. So definitely check that out. But we'll be bringing on Brandon here shortly. A lot of good stuff. Go to PropStore.com to find out information on this Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction that's taking place August 15th, tomorrow through the 18th, I believe, at PropStore London. We'll bring on the page here real quick and got that going. There it is. PropStore London. That's amazing. So their Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction. We're going to go to that real quick. And also, they have all kind of stuff. Posters. They do a little bit of everything. But this particular one is the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction, which takes place August 15th to the 18th. But better yet than that, we actually have, I believe, Brandon on here right now. So let's bring that and stop that share screening and bring him on. Brandon, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing awesome. You see you've got some goodies behind you, man.
A few nice pieces. Yes, if you're a fan of Gladiator, this is the good stuff right here.
Awesome. Can you go over a few of the pieces you have there and what's going on with the Entertainment Memorabilia Live Auction?
Yeah, so the auction kicks off tomorrow, Thursday, August 15th. It does run through Sunday. Tomorrow is going to be the day that has the highest value pieces, and then we continue days 2 to 4 with pieces that are at lower price points. So in total, there's about 1,900 items from hundreds and hundreds of films and television shows. All of it is the real material actually used in the making of films and television shows. That's what we're all about here at PropStore. All the auction details, of course, are at PropStore.com. And yeah, I'm happy to run through a couple of the pieces behind me. I love this film, Gladiator. I just think it's an amazing movie.
Yeah, what you got? You got one of the masks or something like that. Go over a few of the items.
Yeah, so behind me here, that is a Skeletorius Gladiator helmet. That's one of the guys that Russell Crowe fights as Maximus in one of the earlier battle scenes in the film. And then if you can see, I'll just stand out of the way a little bit, but I've got Russell Crowe's shield and sword. Those are used in the battle against Tigress of Gaul, with all the tigers running around, and then the final end scene where he fights Commodus. And of course, the white costume plays in the end scene as well. So that's a Joaquin Phoenix Commodus final battle costume. Pre-sale estimate on that one is $80,000 to $160,000. So it is on the pricier side, but if you like Gladiator, that is one of the memorable primo pieces to have.
That's awesome. You've got a lot of other things highlighted in the auction. I believe you have the Batwing and some tricorder goodness. And can you go over a few of the other highlights?
Yeah, the Batwing is definitely one of the best pieces in the sale. That is the 6-foot wide motorized hero filming model used for all the close-up shots in the film. It's really fantastic. There's a video on our website, PropStore.com. You can see it in action, but the little miniature Batman's head spins, the Gatling gun folds out and it spins and the strobes fire. It has the balloon clippers. You remember the sequence in the film where Batman goes and steals the Joker's poisonous balloons? This model was used for those specific shots in the sequence. So that is an amazing piece from that first Batman film, Tim Burton's 1989 film. And the pre-sale estimate on that one is $250,000 to $500,000. So it is one of the most expensive pieces in the sale. Just a real piece of movie history.
It's a big piece too. It's like a big piece, right?
It's very big. Yeah, it's 6 feet wide. And the reason it's big is so that they can basically shoot it in close up. You know, when you're doing model miniature work, the scale dictates how close or how much detail you can see on something within a given shot. And so they also had a smaller one for filming, actually a couple different size smaller ones that are for shots where it appears smaller in the frame. But if you wanted to fill that frame, you've got to have a larger model that you can pack a lot of detail into and get the camera close to so that it holds up to scrutiny and doesn't start to look like a model.
Right. I didn't know they had the different sizes. I thought they only had like the big one and maybe like him in the actual cockpit with the live action on it.
Well, I think with the Batwing, they had 4, actually. They had Michael Keaton in the full-size cockpit. They had the one that's in this auction, which is the 6-foot wide hero close-up model with all the functionality. They had a 2-foot model, which is what you're seeing most of the time when it's kind of flying through the shots. And then there was actually a really small one, about 7 inches wide, that they built specifically for the shot where it goes up in front of the moon.
Oh, yeah. So that was a cool shot. I had like the bat symbol up on the moon.
Yeah, awesome shot. They actually used that for the cover of the soundtrack album.
That's right.
If anybody remembers that one,
the Danny Elfman goodness. They have.
That's right.
They have the other props you have in there. I believe you have some Star Trek and some Star Wars. Can you go over some of those items?
Yeah, so Star Trek, a lot of great content. One of the highlights is the tricorder from the original series. It's a season 3 tricorder, and what's really special about this one is that it screen matches to a shot of Leonard Nimoy holding it. And when we say screen match, that basically means there's unique tells or flaws on the piece that you can see in the show from 60 years ago, and you can still see today. So that tricorder is wrapped with a leatherette material, and this leatherette kind of has a natural grain to it, which means there's little streaks and lines in the fabric itself. And when you look at the film in high definition, you can see those. And when you look at the piece today, you can see those, meaning it is this exact tricorder being held by Leonard Nimoy. It's really fantastic.
I saw you had a sketch that I believe was done by Hua Cheng, and he was the one I believe that designed like the tricorder and the communicator and the phasers and all that, I believe, correct?
Yeah, no, that's right. And it was really fortuitous. That sketch came in from another consignor. It was actually something that was sold in the past and is now coming around again. So to be able to put the tricorder up for sale next to the original concept sketch represents a great opportunity for a collector.
Stars lined up on that.
Exactly. And then Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, look, we all love Star Wars. We have sold a lot of great Star Wars pieces in the past. A few years ago, we had a screen-matched X-Wing fighter model. In this auction, I think the highlight is the Biker Scout helmet from Return of the Jedi. It's the first one that's ever come up to public auction. It's a wonderful design. It was created by a designer at ILM named Nilo Rodas-Chamero. He did costume designs for Return of the Jedi. Biker Scout is all his design. It's just a wonderful piece of work. The faceplate on it folds up. So unlike a regular Stormtrooper helmet, you can actually fold that faceplate up out of the way to see out of the front of the mask. It's a really special piece. And it's not the only thing we have from Star Wars. We have a great Stormtrooper blaster from Return of the Jedi. We have Walrus Man's gun from the first film, the Cantina sequence. We have some lightsabers from the prequel films and some wonderful artwork as well. So a lot of great material from the Star Wars franchise in this one.
Which lightsabers do you have specifically?
Boy, we have a few lightsabers in this one. Ones that are coming to mind are things like Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. It's a lightweight version designed to be worn on the belt, so it actually comes with a belt clip as well. You have a belt hanger, that's exactly right. And then we've got another one that has the carbon fiber blade from when they were actually dueling with it. Also an Anakin from Episode 3. I believe we have a Mace Windu from Episode 3, a really nice Qui-Gon lightsaber from The Phantom Menace. This is a similar thing, a belt hanger. Really nice piece. Yeah, like I say, a good spread of Star Wars in this one.
Now, behind you, what other things do you have back there that you could kind of guide us through?
Yeah, I think I touched on most of these. So the Maximus shield and Maximus sword, the Commodus armor, and then just on this side, this is one of Russell Crowe's or Maximus's armors. This is actually the version when Proximo first gives it to him. If you remember the film, Proximo, he's the guy who used to be a gladiator himself. He gives Maximus his first armor, and then as the film progresses, he keeps adding characters to it. So I don't know how well you can see that photo, but he adds some horses to the chest and like a tree in the center, and then a few more small figures representing his child and his wife, I think, as the film progresses.
What are some of your absolute favorites? Like any smaller items or bigger? What are some of your favorite highlights or anything you really like? Wow, I want to get that.
Well, we just covered a lot of them, to be perfectly honest. There's some great pieces there. But look, I'm a big Steven Spielberg fan. There's some nice material from some of his movies like Hook. We have one of Dustin Hoffman's hooks. It's made out of rubber for safety, but it is the hook from Hook, the title piece. That's pretty cool. There's a great helmet from Minority Report, which is a really nice piece. I also love the Ghostbusters films. There's a Stay Puft hat from the first Ghostbusters film. There's a Slimer puppet from the first film.
I saw
which
that.
are both really nice. I know it's a sci-fi platform, so some great Blade Runner stuff. There's a Blade Runner shirt. There's also a matte painting from Blade Runner, which is really rare because you just never see matte paintings come up for auction.
Is that a Sid Mead piece?
Sid Mead did a lot of the design work on Blade Runner, so he may have been involved with this. The actual artist who did the painting is a well-known matte artist named Matthew Urasich, who won an Academy Award for his work on Logan's Run. He's considered one of the masters, one of the greats when it comes to cinema matte painting.
Very cool. And I saw you do some stuff. Mr. Cost, I believe, had interviewed the Kudas from Star Trek. And is there some smaller items like hang tricorders or something like that you had in there as well? A few other smaller items?
Yeah, there's a pretty healthy Star Trek section in general. So many lots from different Star Trek films and shows. We do have some tricorders. I know there's a couple from Next Gen. I think there's one from one of the original series era feature films. So like the features with Nimoy and Shatner. We have some great content from more recent Star Treks, like some material from Star Trek Picard Season 3, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, a really, as I say, healthy and robust Star Trek section in this auction.
Very cool. And for people that are joining, when does the auction take place exactly, and what are the details, how they take part in it, and go bid and all that?
So we're starting tomorrow. It's going to be here where I am now at the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles. Starts at 9:30 a.m. Pacific tomorrow on Thursday the 15th. People, if they're not here in LA, are welcome to bid via telephone or online. All the details are at PropStore.com. You do need to register to bid in the auction. You can register for phone bidding if you want to connect to the room directly via phone, or you can register for online bidding, and you're bidding in real time through the platform. It is a live auction, which means it's an auction like you've seen in the movies. There's an auctioneer at the front of the room. He is selling lots one by one in sequence with the gavel. It's a lot of fun, but it's not a timed auction like some of you might be familiar with from things like eBay. This is a live, sell them one at a time auction, and we're happy to have people participate through whatever means they'd like.
Awesome. And for people, y'all live stream that, I believe, as well on social media as well as too.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So if you're looking for something to follow tomorrow while you're sitting at your desk, the whole thing will be broadcast live at PropStore.com. You can follow the action. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
If y'all want to go to PropStore, it's right down there, PropStore.com, or go to, I believe your Facebook page is /PropStore, right?
That's it. You got it.
Well, Brandon, I wanted to thank you. I know you're a busy guy and getting ready to do this awesome auction tomorrow. I wanted to thank you so much for joining us, Brandon. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And hey, to anyone who's bidding out there, good luck at the auction.
You got good luck, y'all. Thank you so much, Brandon. You have a beautiful day, man.
Thanks, you too.